the dark. No more dawn, shadows win. The solar eclipse cast a terrifying gloom overhead, painting the afternoon sky a terrifying bruised red. I watch your silhouette standing by the bedroom door, a dark apparition that I cannot recognize anymore. The luminance has vanished from your beautiful brown eyes, replaced by an abyss of complicated, twisted lies. I carry a brass lantern, but the kerosene has run dry, wandering blindly beneath this darkened twilight sky. My chest cavity feels like a damp subterranean cave, trapped inside this emotional, suffocating grave. The sun retreated behind a massive blocking moon, turning our joyful morning into a dreadful afternoon. The lack of illumination breeds terrible lurking ghosts. We are serving as unwilling, miserable, haunted hosts. The twilight creeps inward, consuming the vibrant day, chasing every single ounce of brilliant light away. Living with a shadowed heart, completely deprived of sun, a terrifying darkness that simply cannot be outrun. Oh, a total eclipse blocking out the affection we need, planting a nocturnal poisonous, miserable seed. Shadowed heart beating slowly in the pitch black night, surrendering completely without putting up a fight. The umber spreads quickly across the living room wall, waiting for the inevitable, terrifying curtain to fall. I reach out to grab your hand, but grasp only the air, stumbling around in this pitch black atmosphere. I try to strike a flint, but the sparks refuse to catch. We are completely incompatible, a terrible mismatch. The shadows grow taller, morphing into terrifying shapes, blocking out all the viable, accessible escape. The lack of illumination breeds terrible lurking ghosts. We are serving as unwilling, miserable, haunted hosts. The twilight creeps inward, consuming the vibrant day, chasing every single ounce of brilliant light away. Living with a shadowed heart, completely deprived of sun, a terrifying darkness that simply cannot be outrun. Oh, a total eclipse blocking out the affection we need, planting a nocturnal poisonous, miserable seed. Shadowed heart beating slowly in the pitch black night, surrendering completely without putting up a fight. Photosynthesis requires a genuine radiant beam, but we are living entirely inside a nocturnal dream. The darkness is absolute, a thick impenetrable cloak, choking out the fire until there is only smoke. Lights out, total dark, cannot see. Blind love, living with a shadowed heart, completely deprived of sun, a terrifying darkness that simply cannot be outrun. Oh, a total Embrace the dark, no more dawn, shadows win. I look into the vanity mirror, but my reflection is torn. A distorted image of a woman completely forlorn. A spider web of cracks spreading across the silver pane, multiplying my sorrow, duplicating my profound pain. Every single angle shows a different fractured view of the terrible moment when I finally lost you. Walking barefoot across the dangerous kitchen tile, navigating the debris of our ruined, broken smile. The crystal vase you threw is scattered everywhere, gleaming maliciously under the hanging chandelier. I pick up a jagged piece, studying the pointed edge, standing precariously upon a dangerous rocky ledge. Fragility was a concept we carelessly chose to ignore, smashing our precious trust against the hardwood floor. You cannot glue a ruined mosaic back into its prime. The splinters will remain until the end of time. Cutting our tender feet, leaving a bloody trail down the miserable, lonely street. A million tiny fragments of a promise we broke, choking on the dangerous microscopic silica smoke. Shattered glass, reflecting our catastrophic mistake, realizing exactly how much a human soul can break. I bought a broom to sweep the terrible mess away, but the tiny sparkling diamond stubbornly decide to stay embedded deeply into the carpet, hidden from the eye, waiting to puncture our flesh whenever we walk by. The window pane was smashed by a thrown cobblestone. Now the freezing wind chills me straight to the bone. There is no protective barrier to keep the danger out, just an open wound filled with insecurity and doubt. Fragility was a concept we carelessly chose to ignore, smashing our precious trust against the hardwood floor. Oh, you cannot glue a ruined mosaic back into its prime. The splinters will remain until the end of time. Walking on shattered glass, cutting out tender feet, leaving a bloody trail down a miserable, lonely street. A million tiny fragments of a promise we broke, choking on the dangerous microscopic silica smoke. Shattered glass, reflecting our catastrophic mistake, realizing exactly how much a human soul can break. thick as smoke, shattered glass, reflecting our catastrophic mistake. Realizing exactly how much a human soul can break. Watch your step, sharp edges, broken pains. Careful now. Tracing the jagged lines, mapping out my pale skin, a permanent reminder of the battles I could not win. Every blemish tells a story of a deeply vicious fight, carved by a ruthless needle under fluorescent light. The surgical thread pulled tight across my broken flesh, trying to weave the torn tissue into a brand new mesh. But the blade cut deeply through the muscle and the vein, leaving a textured road map of excruciating pain. Our wounds are overlapping in a chaotic, messy knot, healing terribly poorly in the sensitive, tender spot. The lacerations bind us in a horrifying, ugly way, a physical museum display in our profound decay. We bear these tangled scars, intricate and profoundly deep, a gallery of nightmares, preventing us from going to sleep. Interlocked trauma, etched forever, like a grim tattoo. I cannot separate my blemishes from the marks on you. Tangled scars, an intertwined labyrinth of old regret, a complicated woven tapestry we can never forget. I wear long sleeves in summer to conceal the wretched shame, bandages wrapping tightly around my fragile, battered frame. But the blood seeps through the cotton, staining it crimson red, exposing the brutal history I desperately want to shed. My fingertips run blindly over the bumpy, uneven terrain, reading the raised braille of your emotional hurricane. No ointment, no magical lotion can erase this brutal brand. We are permanently damaged, walking hand in hand. Our wounds are overlapping in a chaotic, messy knot, healing terribly poorly in the sensitive, tender spot. The lacerations bind us in a horrifying, ugly way, a physical museum display in our profound decay. We bear these tangled scars, intricate and profoundly deep, a gallery of nightmares, preventing us from going to sleep. Interlocked trauma, etched forever, like a grim tattoo. I cannot separate my blemishes from the marks on you. Tangled scars, an intertwined labyrinth of old regret, a complicated woven tapestry we can never forget. Fleshy base, inseparable damage that no doctor can ever erase. We are a monstrous creation of surgical mistake, waiting for the final fragile suture to forcefully break. Slice it, bleed out, form a scab, never heal. We bear these tangled scars, high, intricate and profoundly deep, a gallery of nightmares preventing us from going to sleep. Interlock trauma, etched forever like a grim tattoo. I cannot separate my blemishes from the marks on you. Tangled scars, an intertwined labyrinth of old regret, a complicated woven tapestry we can never forget. Stitches pulled, tissue tears marked for life, permanent damage. Every step I take feels like walking through thick mud. A sudden pressure drops, freezing up my rushing blood. I reach for the sky, but my arms are leaden weights, trapped below the atmosphere, sealed behind iron gates. The planet pulls me downward toward the solid dirt, wearing my exhaustion like a torn and ragged shirt. I cannot lift my boots, the terrain is far too steep, falling into an ocean that is incredibly deep. We used to float upon a cloud of bliss, now we are plunging straight into the abyss. The invisible force is dragging us below, stopping the forward momentum, making us incredibly slow. Heavy gravity sinking us to the ground. We are anchored to the bottom, tightly bound, cannot escape this massive crushing weight. We realized our altitude was dropping too late. Heavy gravity pulling us from the stars, locking us forever behind invisible bars. Look up at the constellations, totally out of reach. We are stranded upon this desolate ruined beach. My bones are aching from the atmospheric strain. Trying to stand upright feels completely in vain. The apples fall from the tree, hitting the roots. We are tangled in the vines, wearing heavy suits. No wings could ever lift this massive amount of stone. We are sinking into the crust, absolutely alone. We used to float upon a cloud of bliss, now we are plunging straight into the abyss. The invisible force is dragging us below, stopping the forward momentum, making us incredibly slow. Heavy gravity sinking us to the ground. We are anchored to the bottom, tightly bound, cannot escape this massive crushing weight. We realized our altitude was dropping too late. Heavy gravity pulling us from the stars, locking us forever behind invisible bars. a single regret. But the universe demands an equal reaction. Now we are suffering this fatal attraction. Pulling down, crashing hard, no escape. Hitting bottom, heavy gravity sinking us to the ground. We are anchored to the bottom, tightly bound. Cannot escape this massive crushing wave. We realized our altitude was dropping too late. Heavy gravity pulling us from the stars, locking us forever behind invisible bars. Pinned down, rooted deep, no more flight, grounded forever. Watch the fireplace turning into greater night. The warmth we used to share has lost its golden light. Sitting on this velvet chair, staring at the dust, wondering how a passionate flame turned into rust. I strike a match, but the timber is far too damp. Shadows creeping slowly around the reading lamp. The winter breeze whispers through the window pane, washing away our history like an autumn rain. We blew the sparks, we tried to breathe life back, but the logs are consumed, turning into black. There is nothing left to ignite the atmosphere. The freezing midnight is already here. Fading embers, dying in the dark, losing every trace of that beautiful spark. We are just staring at the ashes on the floor, knowing we cannot burn like we did before. Fading embers, glowing for a second then gone, leaving us shivering before the dawn. I put my six string down against the wooden wall, waiting for a miracle, waiting for you to call. But the silence is louder than a thunder strike, riding down this lonely road on a broken bike. I wrap this wool blanket tightly across my chest, trying to find a momentary place of rest. But your scent still lingers on the pillowcase, a ghost I constantly try to chase. We blew the sparks, we try to breathe life back, but the logs are consumed, turning into black. There is nothing left to ignite the atmosphere. The freezing midnight is already here. Oh, fading embers, die we did before. Fading embers, glowing for a second then gone, leaving us shivering. Consuming the forest, devouring the sea. Now we are just a memory, a tale to be told, a story of a fire that grew terribly cold. Just smoke, rising up, fading now. Nothing for a second then gone, leaving us shivering before the dawn. Let it cool, let the soot settle down. No more heat, goodbye my fading ember. Hang a single silver ornament upon a solitary pine, drinking cheap eggnog and pretending I am doing fine. The festive neighborhood is glowing with a radiant display, while I sit in the darkness wishing it would go away. Shoveling the heavy snowfall from the front porch steps, wiping the ice of condensation where my bitter sorrow slept. Choir voices carry across the freezing midnight breeze, singing joyful carols that bring me straight to my knees. The calendar pages flip toward the dreadful final square, leaving me absolutely breathless, gasping for some air. Every holiday commercial feels like an intentional taunt, a seasonal ghost that will continually come back to haunt. This is a cool December, stealing the most depressing finale to an absolutely tragic year. Wrapping up my massive heartbreak in a velvet crimson gold, watching our precious memories cannot bear. The mistletoe is dangling uselessly above the doorway frame. A parasitic little plant whispering your forgotten name. I tear down the colored lights draped across the patio, refusing to participate in this ridiculous happy show. Writing out greeting cards to people I barely even know, faking a cheerful signature, and I hide the staggering blow. The fireplace stockings hang completely empty on the wall, waiting for a Christmas miracle that will never actually fall. The calendar pages flip toward the dreadful final square, leaving me absolutely breathless, gasping for some air. Every holiday commercial feels like an intentional taunt, a seasonal ghost that will continually come back to haunt. This is a cruel December, stealing every ounce of cheer, the most depressing finale to an absolutely tragic year. Wrapping up my massive heartbreak in a velvet crimson bow, watching our precious memories buried underneath the snow. Cruel December, a winter wonderland of pure despair, leaving me stranded with this holiday grief I cannot Counting down the seconds until the clock strikes 12, hoping the incoming January will help my spirit heal itself. I pop a cork of cider to ring the devastating midnight in, a solitary celebration of a miserable, lonely spin. Snow falls, bells chime, clock strikes, year ends. This is a cruel December, stealing every ounce of cheer, the most depressing finale to an absolutely tragic year. Wrapping up my massive heartbreak in a velvet crimson bow, watching our precious memories buried underneath the snow. Cruel December, a winter wonderland of pure despair, leaving me stranded with this holiday grief I cannot bear. Pack the tree, box the lights, winter fades, silent night. I press my fingers against the cool ivory keys, begging the wooden soundboard for a gentle breeze. But the hammers refuse to strike the metallic wire, extinguishing the passionate, musical, raging fire. I stare blankly at the completely empty manuscript, wondering where the beautiful harmony suddenly slipped. The tuning fork hums but finds no matching pitch. We are stuck permanently in this unmusical ditch. I adjust the microphone, but there is no vocal to record, just a devastating absence of a single meaningful word. My vocal cords are paralyzed by the unspoken grief, praying for a sonic wave to bring a moment of relief. The frequency drops entirely off the audible chart, the deafening quietness tearing our rhythm apart. We lost the tempo, we forgot the fundamental beat, surrendering our masterpiece to an absolute defeat. Playing these silent chords into the vast unknown, standing on the concert stage, terribly and utterly alone. No melody can translate the magnitude of this despair, just a mute vibration hanging in the empty air. Silent chords, a symphony of unexpressed regret, the quietest tragedy that we will never forget. The orchestra packed up their instruments and walked away, knowing there was absolutely nothing left for us to play. The conductor dropped his baton onto the dusty floor, closing the heavy curtain, locking the auditorium door. I hum a phantom tune that nobody else can hear, a pathetic lullaby to conquer my overwhelming fear. The metronome ticks, but the time has ceased to exist, wandering aimlessly through a thick, unmusical mist. The frequency drops entirely off the audible chart, a deafening quietness tearing our rhythm apart. We lost the tempo, we forgot the fundamental beat, surrendering our masterpiece to an absolute defeat. Playing these silent chords into the vast unknown, standing on the concert stage, terribly and utterly alone. No melody can translate the magnitude of this despair, just a mute vibration hanging in the empty air. Silent chords, a symphony of unexpressed regret, the quietest tragedy that we will never forget. Terrifying mute, a ruined piano and a broken, splintered wooden flute. Hush now, listen closely, hear nothing, total void. Playing these silent chords into the vast unknown, standing on the concert stage, terribly and utterly alone. A symphony of unexpressed regret, the quietest tragedy that we will never forget. Fade away, drop the mic, close the lid, end the song. crystal chandeliers casting prisms upon my designer gown. The wealthiest, most miserable woman in this opulent town. Mascara ruins the exquisite imported foreign silk, crying over spilled champagne instead of crying over milk. Straightening my custom tuxedo in the polished looking glass, pretending to belong entirely to the upper elite class. A silver limousine is waiting patiently in the driveway, ready to show for this pathetic hollow masquerade away. We possess an absolute fortune, swimming in pure gold, but emotionally speaking, we are terribly bankrupt and old. The paparazzi flash their lenses, capturing a fake smile, hiding the overwhelming tragedy behind an elegant profile. Weeping velvet tears, soft and incredibly plush, spilling onto pearls in the wealthy midnight hush. A luxurious depression that money simply cannot cure, suffering in high society, feeling terribly insecure. Velvet tears staining the extremely expensive rug, addicted to the glamorous life like a destructive drug. The penthouse suite offers an immaculate panoramic view, but the marble pillars feel like a prison built for two. Caviar tastes like ashes upon my aristocratic tongue, the saddest aristocratic melody that anyone has ever sung. Diamonds wrap around my neck, an incredibly heavy chain, a glittering brilliant collar, amplifying my internal pain. I wander through the sprawling estate, a captive in my home, a solitary empress reigning within a gigantic lonely dome. We possess an absolute fortune, swimming in pure gold, but emotionally speaking, we are terribly bankrupt and old. The paparazzi flash their lenses, capturing a fake smile, hiding the overwhelming tragedy behind an elegant profile. Weeping velvet tears, soft and incredibly plush, spilling onto pearls in the wealthy midnight hush. A luxurious depression that money simply cannot cure, suffering in high society, feeling terribly insecure. Velvet tears staining the extremely expensive rug, addicted to the glamorous life like a destructive drug. The bank account overflows, the vault is tightly secure, but this prestigious melancholy remains entirely uncured. You cannot purchase a genuine laugh with a platinum card. Playing this incredibly wealthy role is extraordinarily hard. Drip softly, shine bright, look rich, feel poor. Weeping velvet tears, soft and incredibly plush, spilling onto pearls in the wealthy midnight hush. A luxurious depression that money simply cannot cure, simply cannot cure. Suffering in high society, feeling terrible digital map glowing bright upon my screen, calculating the massive geography, sitting right between different time zones, making our communication completely out of sync, pushing my sanity rapidly toward the treacherous brink. Driving past the state line, reading the faded welcome board, living entirely out of a suitcase in an old beaten up Ford. The AM radio crackles with a terrible buzzing static hiss, trying to ignore the comfort in hometown that I intensely miss. The cell tower signal drops as I drive through the mountain pass, looking at the blurry horizon through a bug-splattered glass. Thousands of miles separating our weary traveling souls, taking unexplainable tolls on our ultimate romantic goals, singing the distant blues, separated by the interstate, wondering if this separation is an act of cruel fate, a geographic nightmare tearing us completely apart. Planes, riding on different airplanes, catching separate passing trains, eating greasy pancakes in a lonely roadside diner booth, pouring terrible black coffee while searching for the truth. The waitress calls me honey, but it does not sound the same. Nobody in this entire time zone even knows my middle name. Postage stamps and handwritten letters piled upon the desk, trying to keep our connection from turning grotesque. I trace your familiar handwriting with my index finger, allowing the romantic sentiment to temporarily linger. The cell tower signal drops as I drive through the mountain pass, looking at the blurry horizon through a bug-splattered glass. Thousands of miles separating our weary traveling souls, taking unexplainable tolls on our ultimate romantic goals, singing the distant blues, separated by the interstate, wondering if this separation is an act of cruel fate, a geographic nightmare tearing us completely apart, an agonizing marathon running directly through my heart. Distant blues spanning oceans, rivers, and the endless plains, riding on different airplanes, catching separate passing trains. Satellites floating in orbit, beaming down a delayed tech, constantly wondering exactly what is gonna happen next. We are just two tiny dots on a massive spinning globe, waiting patiently for a miracle, maintaining endless hope. Keep driving, keep flying. far away, never close, singing the distant blues, separated by the interstate, wondering if this separation is an act of cruel fate, a geographic nightmare tearing us completely apart, an agonizing marathon running directly through my heart. Distant blues spanning oceans, rivers, and the endless plains, riding on different airplanes, catching separate passing trains. Engine stops, call connects, delay remains miles apart. Every step I take feels like walking through thick mud. A sudden pressure drops, freezing up my rushing blood. I reach for the sky, but my arms are leaden weights, trapped below the atmosphere, sealed behind iron gates. The planet pulls me downward toward the solid dirt, wearing my exhaustion like a torn and ragged shirt. I cannot lift my boots, the terrain is far too steep, falling into an ocean that is incredibly deep. We used to float upon a cloud of bliss, now we are plunging straight into the abyss. The invisible force is dragging us below, stopping the forward momentum, making us incredibly slow. Heavy gravity sinking us to the ground. We are anchored to the bottom, tightly bound, cannot escape this massive crushing weight. We realized our altitude was dropping too late. Heavy gravity pulling us from the stars, locking us forever behind invisible bars. Look up at the constellations, totally out of reach. We are stranded upon this desolate, ruined beach. My bones are aching from the atmospheric strain. Trying to stand upright feels completely in vain. The apples fall from the tree, hitting the roots. We are tangled in the vines, wearing heavy suits. No wings could ever lift this massive amount of stone. We are sinking into the crust, absolutely alone. We used to float upon a cloud of bliss, now we are plunging straight into the abyss. The invisible force is dragging us below, stopping the forward momentum, making us incredibly slow. Heavy gravity sinking us to the ground. We are anchored to the bottom, tightly bound, cannot escape this massive crushing weight. We realized our altitude was dropping too late. Heavy gravity behind invisible bars, pinned down, rooted deep. No more flight, grounded forever. I watch the fireplace turning into gray tonight. The warmth we used to share has lost its golden light. Sitting on this velvet chair, staring at the dust, wondering how a passionate flame turned into rust. I strike a match, but the timber is far too damp. Shadows creeping slowly round the reading lamp. The winter breeze whispers through the window pane, washing away our history like an autumn rain. We blew the sparks, we tried to breathe life back, but the logs are consumed, turning into black. There is nothing left to ignite the atmosphere. The freezing midnight is already here. Oh, fading embers, dying in the dark, losing every trace of that beautiful spark. We are just staring at the ashes on the floor, knowing we cannot burn like we did before. Fading embers, glowing for a second and gone, leaving us shivering before the dawn. I put my sixth string down against the wooden wall, waiting for a miracle, waiting for you to call. But the silence is louder than a thunder strike, riding down this lonely road on a broken bike. I wrap this wool blanket tightly across my chest, trying to find a momentary place of rest. But your scent still lingers on the pillowcase, a ghost I constantly try to chase. We blew the sparks, we tried to breathe life back, but the logs are consumed, turning into black. There is nothing left to ignite the atmosphere. The freezing midnight is already here. Oh, fading embers, dying in the dark, losing every trace of that beautiful spark. We are just staring at the ashes on the floor, knowing we cannot burn like we did before. Fading embers, glowing for a second and gone, leaving us shivering before the dawn. ashes on the floor, knowing we cannot burn like we did before. Fading embers, glowing for a second and gone, leaving us shivering before the dawn. Let it cool, let the soot settle down. No more heat, goodbye, my fading ember. The solar eclipse casts a terrifying gloom overhead, painting the afternoon sky a terrifying bruised red. I watch your silhouette standing by the bedroom door, a dark apparition that I cannot recognize anymore. The luminance has vanished from your beautiful brown eyes, replaced by an abyss of complicated, twisted lies. I carry a brass lantern, but the kerosene has run dry, wandering blindly beneath this darkened twilight sky. My chest cavity feels like a damp subterranean cave, trapped inside this emotional, suffocating grave. The sun retreated behind a massive blocking moon, turning our joyful morning into a dreadful afternoon. The lack of illumination breeds terrible lurking ghosts. We are serving as unwilling, miserable, haunted hosts. The twilight creeps inward, consuming the vibrant day, chasing every single ounce of brilliant light away. Living with a shadowed heart, completely deprived of sun, a terrifying darkness that simply cannot be outrun. A total eclipse blocking out the affection we need, planting a nocturnal poisonous miserable seed. Shadowed heart, beating slowly in the pitch black night, surrendering completely without putting up a fight. The umber spreads quickly across the living room wall, waiting for the inevitable, terrifying curtain to fall. I reach out to grab your hand, but grasp only the air, stumbling around in this pitch black atmosphere. I try to strike a flint, but the sparks refuse to catch. We are completely incompatible, a terrible mismatch. The shadows grow taller, morphing into terrifying shapes, blocking out all the viable, accessible escapes. The lack of illumination breeds terrible lurking ghosts. We are serving as unwilling, miserable, haunted hosts. The twilight creeps inward, consuming the vibrant day, chasing every single ounce nocturnal, poisonous, miserable sea. Shadowed heart, beating slowly in the pitch black night, surrendering completely without putting up a fight. Requires a genuine, radiant beam, but we are living entirely inside a nocturnal dream. The darkness is absolute, a thick impenetrable cloak, choking out the fire until there is only smoke. Lights out, total dark, cannot see, blind love, living with the shadowed heart, completely deprived of sun. A terrifying darkness that simply cannot be outrun. A total eclipse, blocking out the affection we need, planting a nocturnal, poisonous, miserable sea. Shadowed heart, beating slowly in the pitch black night, surrendering completely without putting up a fight. Welcome night, embrace the dark, no more